9.
Yeah, man. We're entering the end of college. We're at the halfway mark of the NFL, of which all the mathematical tables, the methodologies, all the systems, everything is in full swing right now. 2 weeks ago, we had our only glitch. Last week, we pounded Indy. We told everybody on the show, if you call in and you get involved in the executive service, loved Indy. Didn't like Indy, loved Indy. And I love 2 games on the executive board today, and there's no doubt in my mind. And I got 3 good picks for the NFL. Jimmy, Damon, my brother Chris, and his team. Huge college slate today. Start with a weekend pass, guys. Get involved. Give us a call. Don't regret missing out.
That's it. Paul said it. Free weekend pass is available now. 3 games today on your college football Saturday, 3 tomorrow on Sunday, and then Monday night wraps you up. So this is the perfect way. If you haven't dipped your foot in the water yet, this is the perfect way to get a feel for what Paul and his team does. A free weekend pass of 6 games between today and tomorrow, and then on Monday night, you get the Monday night play as well. So it's like 7-8 plays here for free. Call right now, 888-366-3733, 888-366-3733. What the games are today: Oklahoma, Kansas State is game number 1. Penn State, Michigan State, game number 2. Notre Dame and Michigan, game number 3. We will talk about all 3 of those games on the show today. Tomorrow in pro football, you'll get Philly, Buffalo, Oakland, Houston, and Carolina, San Francisco. 3 huge games tomorrow. So those are your 6 plays, your 6-pack, available right now to all callers. 888-366-3733, 888-366-3733, 888-366-FREE is the number to call to get your free weekend pass going. And then, of course, to top it all off, Jimmy tags, I know you have targeted Green Bay. Am I allowed to say the game? I guess I am, right? Green Bay, Kansas City. Jimmy, moving off college, I know you have a huge game today, but this is your game of the week. Green Bay, Kansas City. Tell me about this game.
Well, first things first, it's a little bit more high profile than, I normally get involved with, and we talk about it all the time. I'm definitely not a guy who likes the marquee games, but the bottom line is I like money, and I can tell you something right now. I got a side to this game. I mean, this is a piece that everybody's got to be involved with. I mean, I'm going to make money for people today on college football as well, and then Paul's got things tomorrow. So, listen, I know one thing. I've been around this game a long time. I mean, there's a rumor that I even shook hands with Bugsy Siegel when he first started this town. Bottom line is I didn't, but here's the deal. Okay, here's the deal, folks. Okay, reputations are made this time of year. Okay, when you get from October into November, it's how you close out the season and where you go from here. Okay, where you take this to the next level. And this is where, me and Paul have made our reputations over the years. Me a little bit longer than Paul. He's a little bit younger than me. But the bottom line is this, folks. Okay, we're guys that, we're game changers. We're guys that move lines.
Market
we're guys
makers.
Yeah, that's what we do. I mean, we made our reputation this time of year. And getting back to what Damon was involved with the Clemson game last week. I'd be remiss not to talk about Clemson because I am an aficionado when it comes to college football. Talk about Clemson. Could you imagine this team won, 2 out of the last 3 national titles? They won the national title last year. And they could basically be on the outside looking in with a perfect record this year because they got so many other teams and their schedule's so weak now ending the season. So, folks, I'm telling you something right now. If you want to do this right, you got to give us a
Good morning. It is 6 minutes after the hour. Welcome one and all to Facebook Live and also those tuned in on Biz Talk Radio. Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, and John Bagnasco. We are back, ready to go. Hope you had a good week and are ready to have some fun this morning. We're going to learn how to make limoncello. More about that later on. It has been very hot here in San Diego. John's our weather guy.
Not just limoncello, but creamy limoncello.
You know what? You're right. Creamy limoncello.
Yeah. Did you watch the video?
I did not yet.
Oh, I thought to myself when I was watching the video, I don't know if you watched it, Tiger, but I'm thinking if Bryan is looking at this video, he's going to do it.
I'd be salivating, right?
Oh,
frothing at the mouth.
Well, it was such a simple recipe. Can't wait to talk to Chef Joe about this.
You know, it's a simple recipe, but to do it, the process takes a while, right, Tiger?
Oh.
It's not just something we're going to whip up here.
Well, like, isn't it crazy to think you're like, if you were sitting there on a hot day and you're like, I want to go make some limoncello. That sounds delicious right now. If you can wait a month and a half, it would be excellent.
It's
right?
about a month and a half. When you compare that with what, bourbon whiskey, that's not a long time at all, but it's not something you're going to put together in a couple of days.
No, definitely not.
No, you could have lemonade first if you were really thirsty,
right?
Huh?
And then
or just
limoncello a month and a half
buy
later.
some limoncello to keep you going until that time. Now, most of the limoncello that I drink or buy now and then is not creamy. It's Trader Joe's lemon.
Yeah, but you like the creamy.
Love the creamy. The orange, pistachio, which we had in Italy, which I've not seen since we've been back in the States. So, looking forward to that.
Hopefully he'll talk about, give us some other recipes for Italian cooking, because I watched some of his videos.
He's good. He's got a good following.
He knows what he's doing.
You know why? Because you guys are like this, huh? Oh, for those that are listening on the radio, like this, the fingers like John and Joe are tight. That's what I meant to say.
I actually have never met him. So you were talking about the weather. It's been hot in California.
Yeah, and people that are back east or the Midwest, they look at these news clippings, they think the whole state is on fire. It's not the case, but this is normal for this time of the year with Santa Ana winds and temperatures nearing 100.
Well, I was thinking the other day, it's just like hurricane season in Florida.
Yeah.
And in the Gulf Coast. I mean, you're going to have hurricanes there no matter what. It's the same thing here. When it's fire season, we have fires. There's no way you get around them anymore. So I think most of them, fortunately for us in Southern California, most of the high winds have been in Northern California. Not that that's fortunate for them, but it's fortunate that we haven't had more problems down here. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the people in the fire areas. I know one of our listeners, Lenore from Canyon Country. Mm-hmm. I hope that she's doing okay. But Canyon Country had a lot of evacuations. I think that's where a lot of buildings had burned too. So we'll see. But what do you do down here? Tiger was just telling me about plants that he has at home. And at the coast, it was actually warmer in some areas than it was inland, which was extremely unusual.
I know that when I got home after work just about every day,
yeah,
I sprayed everything down. Just so hot. I'm in the studio all day. I don't even realize how hot it is. You get outside, you're like, oh, my. And the winds, and it's dry.
And even when you wake up from sleeping, like I have dry eyes, dry feeling.
Sneezing? I sneeze.
Normally when you wake up in the morning, you kind of feel a little bit refreshed and, rehydrated, but not right now.
You're right. That's why I've been waking up so just in a fog.
Yeah. But
there's really no fog when it's this dry, Bryan. It's pretty clear.
You need humidity and clouds for the fog.
Yeah, so upcoming weather, John, it's going to cool off, and then you said back into the 90s next week?
No, all next week is supposed to be in the 70s.
Oh, I hope so. Good.
In San Diego County, anyway. It was a nice day last Sunday. We went, for my birthday, we went to the LA Arboretum.
Yeah, we're going to post some pictures.
Yeah, great pictures. Tell us about it. Better than you expected? You've been there before, right?
Well, I had been there just a few weeks before because I gave a talk to the Pacific Rose Society. But I wanted my family to see it because, we're going to be landscaping our home, and I wanted them to see some mature trees because some of the plants that I want to put are not available at, the local home improvement centers.
Right.
So we saw some really cool things. And there were some things that I think I might have to plant from seed. I don't know if you've grown moringas at all.
We've had them before, but
Yeah.
I have not grown.
There's
one.
some different species of them that really are unusual. The common one, I think, is it called the horseradish tree?
Yes.
And all parts of the tree are edible. But they're drought-tolerant trees for the most part.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were drought tolerant.
And some of them have huge trunks, and they're supposed to be fast-growing, too. So I checked around, and I found out that most of the varieties are only available from seed.
Yeah.
So I might give that a try. I'm not quite sure.
Is there anything that is there anything that Shannon saw that she wants?
That she wants.
That she, because, like you just
no,
said.
but I
part
showed
of
her
the-
things that I had that she was okay with. So, but I'll tell you one thing, the most impressive thing to me was the Australian grass trees that were in bloom. And I didn't take a picture of those, but they were just, I get tingles every time I look at them.
Now, you mentioned those before. Did you see them when you went up for the rose, or did you know they were up there and you were looking forward to seeing them? I can't remember.
Both.
Okay.
Both. So, but I wanted to show them to my family, and I even kidded because at my old house, I had 2 plants that I had planted about 32 years ago. And I was kind of happy because this year when we moved, they bloomed for the first time. So I was able to, get to see them. But when we're up there looking at those plants, I said, what kind of idiot grows a plant for 32 years, and then moves and doesn't try to take it with him?
Oh, I know. Let me answer this. I know the answer to that.
But then let's see, that was Saturday we were there. And then Sunday, how did that work?
Comes after Saturday?
It doesn't usually.
Yeah, that's a good answer, Tiger.
Yeah, let's see, Sábado, Domingo. So I came home from somewhere. I think I'd given in the store or something. I came home, and when I came home, my wife came out of the trailer. My son and daughter-in-law were there, and granddaughter-in-law, and Joe comes up to me and says, do you want a Diet Coke? Like, okay,
I guess.
I guess. And I said, there's something going on, isn't there? And he goes, come here and look at this plant. So the sun was kind of shining in my eyes, so I couldn't really see anything where we were going. Then got over to the shade structure, and one of my Australian grass trees had been dug up and was in a pot with a bloom on it and everything.
Nice.
How about that?
So he had gone to my old house, asked the people who
At 2 a.m.,
No,
went into the yard.
asked the people
Yeah.
there if he could dig out one of the trees, and told him why, and they let him do it. And it was not easy. I mean, because
How big is this tree?
I
Give us an idea.
didn't want to sound like I didn't appreciate it, but I said, you couldn't get the bigger one? He said, I could barely get this. It took 2 days of digging.
Wow.
I know.
How big is the tree?
Well, the trunk is about, trunk's maybe about
16
12, 16
tall.
inches.
Okay, that's pretty big sized tree.
But around, it's maybe almost 2 feet around in diameter, and then it's probably 4 feet tall because it's got little grassy leaves that come out all the way around it. If you Google Australian grass tree, you can see what they look like in bloom.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing them for sale one time, and I can't remember the exact price, but I think it was like $500 an inch or $300 an inch of trunk. They're really expensive.
Well, they take forever to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? The one that I have has got flowers on it, and I think there's seeds all over it. And I was thinking to myself, I should plant these seeds, and then that could be Tiger's retirement.
Hey, we're going to take a break. We've got a break coming up. John's Quote of the Week. People checking in already. Rochelle Ferguson, good morning, guys. Lenore says, okay, still away from the dangerous part.
Oh, that's good.
Not much happening. Rick, 42 degrees in Star, Idaho. How about that? Big difference. Not windy now, Lenore says, so that's good news. So, yeah, thoughts, prayers to those that are experiencing fire danger. Here in San Diego, things pretty much under control. That said, we're going to step aside. Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. Welcome, Facebook Live, Biz Talk Radio. This is Garden America.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Hi, this is Bryan Main, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping-off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Taco Bell's nacho fries are the taste sensation sweeping the nation.
Melt of your cheese brought me to my knees. You got me begging, baby, please don't leave.
And now you can experience the Mexican spices and warm nacho cheese sauce live from your house with Taco Bell delivery. Go to TacoBell.com and get nacho fries delivered today. Available at participating locations for a limited time only. Delivery service and small order fees will apply.
Listen up, America. Why in the world would you start your day with an unwrapped, zip-zap, sad sack breakfast mishap when the McDonald's app lets you order, pay, and pick up a nice and hot griddle-sizzle breakfast with a tap-tippity-tap? I think I just rhyme answered my own rhyme question. McDonald's mobile order and pay. Just order in the app, pass the line with the tap, and wake up breakfast with McDonald's. Mobile order and pay at participating McDonald's. McDonald's app download and registration required.
Haul packages for a living? A gas-powered Mercedes-Benz Sprinter delivers. Transport people? A Sprinter van with 0% financing is a 5-star idea. If food delivery is your thing, then a gas Sprinter caters to you. And if you're a general contractor, the Sprinter with 0% financing nails it. With innovation, safety, and technology, Sprinter is built for you. And it's built for your bottom line with 0% financing. The Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, starting at just $33,790, and for a limited time with IRS Section 179, you could be eligible for up to a $25,000 tax deduction. Gas engine, 0% financing, and a possible tax deduction? Now that's a Sprinter that delivers. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
MSRP excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details about cost insurance. Only valid on 2018 or 2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans excluding cab chassis. Qualified commercial customers only. Financing offer valid through January 2nd, 2020. Consult your tax advisor. For more information, limits may apply. Visit mbvans.com.
It is 21 minutes after the hour. That's 21 after your hour, wherever you are. Back east, Midwest, Mountain Time, Pacific Time. Bryan Main, Garden America, Tiger Palafox, and John Bagnasco, thank you for joining us. A lot of Facebook people tuned in already this morning. They heard the news that today we're going to be talking about making limoncello with a great guest just ahead. John, we've got your quote of the week, and then we'll get things rolling.
You know what?
You can't find it. You didn't do it.
No, I had it all ready to go.
You can make something up.
And let's see here. It'll come up again. But what happened when my phone turned off during the break, I had to log in.
Yeah, you got to go back into your phone, yeah.
But I do have it right here.
So here's John, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Yeah, and God, this as I look at it, it sounds a little morbid again. I've been having some of these. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old or what.
Well, let's check it out and let the folks decide.
And this quote is, "Time remorselessly rambles down the corridors and streets of our lives, but it's not until autumn that most of us become aware that our tickets are stamped with a terminal destination."
Well, it depends on how you look at it. Depends on your beliefs and your morality. That might be a good thing.
Yeah, and we mentioned, I think, last week that it's always a good idea to have an exit strategy anyway.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay, Tiger, going to flip it to you. This is going to be fun and exciting. Those on Facebook Live can actually see what's going on with that camera angle, and let's bring Joe on.
Yeah, so this morning we have Joe Borio with Cooking with Joe, Cooking Italian with Joe.
Yeah, baby.
He's online. He does a lot of cooking videos. He has his recipes posted.
Facebook page.
Exactly. So, one of the things we've talked about a lot this past trip is your experience with creamy limoncello.
In Florence, Italy.
And you've never been able to really find it. You've never been able to kind of recreate that moment.
Not exactly the way I had it.
Exactly. But today we're definitely going to tell people on how they can make it and kind of the story behind it. So good morning, Joe. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you betcha, Joe. It's going to be fun. People anticipating this portion of our show.
Yeah, and so, Joe, tell us, first off, tell us a little bit about yourself because, you kind of have a really neat story background, with this cooking that you do.
Sure. Yeah, my parents are from Italy, so they came over when they were young, and they headed out to Syracuse. Why, I don't know, because the weather we were talking about earlier is not so great out here. But they headed out to Syracuse, and they opened a restaurant as they were in their 20s with my grandparents. So I grew up as a very young boy just cooking next to my grandparents and my parents running this Italian restaurant. And I knew at a very early age that I did not want to run a restaurant with my parents because it was about 180 degrees in the kitchen and you got screamed at in Italian all day long. So when my parents came and said, "Hey, you got to take over," I said, "Why? Why would I want to do this to myself?" So I was this guy, played a lot of sports. I was always into health, had some health challenges when I was a kid. So I ended up becoming a chiropractor who would help me out tremendously in my life. And as the years had gone on, I just have this absolute love for Italy. So I would visit Italy with my parents along with my family, and I ended up buying a home out in Italy, and we ended up buying an olive grove. So we started making olive oil, and one of the ways we wanted to promote the olive oil was to make cooking videos. And I never really thought the cooking videos were going to take off, but lo and behold, the videos, you kind of hit a niche of a group of people, kind of find a tribe of people that you resonate with, and lo and behold, the videos started taking off, and we just have a riot. So pretty much every week or two, we get together with some old family recipes or some new recipes or ways that we've spun them, and we put together a little bit of a show just to share that with people and teach them a little bit of where the recipe comes from and how to make it, and try to make it simple and entertaining as well. So.
Yeah, and I think that's, you hit it right there, is that, the videos that you put together and the recipes that you put together, they're definitely, I feel, authentic, and, they have that, in those ingredients that, are unique to it, but you make it easy, you make it fun, and kind of like I get the feeling that most Italian cooking is very social, family oriented. Yeah. So, I get that from your videos and from your recipes that you put out there. So I think that's why people grabbed on to being able to, follow you, and keep watching videos that you keep putting out.
I just wanted to say quickly, being Italian myself, in watching Joe's videos, I identified with a lot of things he would say. And every time he would tell you about a recipe, he would say, now the old people will tell you to do it this way. With them, they didn't like to change things or to innovate. It was like, you always do it this way, and here's why. And they would even make fun of people who did it a different way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you still get hammered. Anytime I'm around some of my old Italian friends in Italy, I'm like, well, why do you do it that way? Yeah. And they look at you with this just horrible look on their face. Like, I can't even believe you're asking me to shut up and do it this way. I'm like, okay.
Just pure disdain, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's fun.
Hey, so Joe, we're going to be talking limoncello here today, and what is your story with limoncello? What is the background, and is this something that your family kind of grew up with in your family? Is this kind of an all Italians kind of a drink thing? Is this only a seasonal drink for people, or is this year round? What's the story there?
Yeah, sure. First off, anytime you're having alcohol in an Italian family, it's mandatory because no matter what it is, they always use the excuse that it helps your digestion. So I don't know if that's true or not, but an aperitif or an after-dinner drink with alcohol is always what they call a digestivo. It's something that's supposed to move along your digestion. So true or not, so you have to have some alcohol. So we grew up with always having an aperitif, usually something kind of fizzy before you would eat, and then afterwards you'd always have some type of a liqueur, if you will, to enjoy with dessert. So I grew up with it. Much of our limoncello back in the day was brought from Italy because you used to be able to grab a couple of bottles and pop it in your suitcase. Nowadays you can't do that, but so much of what I grew up with when I was a young boy was limoncello from really where it came from, which was Sorrento. So there's a specific variety of lemon, they're literally massive. I mean, probably 2 to 3 times what you would buy in a grocery store here in the United States many times. And you would make limoncello from that type of lemon, and it's just absolutely delicious. So we always grew up with a little something before dinner and always a little something after dinner. So my experience with that was always having limoncello when I was a little boy, and I would often have it as a little boy as a dessert. So you would put it over like a vanilla ice cream. You would use it in cookies. You drizzle it all over certain types of foods or certain types of desserts, which especially the crema, which we're going to make today, is just delicious to add to a dessert.
Okay, hey, Joe, we're going to take a break. Sorry, Tiger.
No worries.
Break time, Joe. That's a good tease after the break coming up for our next segment. The creamy limoncello. Haven't had anything like this since we were in Italy, Joe, just as a reminder that I can't find anything here in the States that quite matches it. We'll see how well we can do today. Garden America, coming back with Joe. Be with us the entire show, right back after this.
Listen up, America. Why in the world would you start your day with an unwrapped, zip-zap, sad sack breakfast mishap when the McDonald's app lets you order, pay, and pick up a nice and hot griddle sizzle breakfast with a tap tippity tap? I think I just rhyme answered my own rhyme question. McDonald's mobile order and pay. Just order in the app, pass the line with the tap, and wake up breakfast with McDonald's. Mobile order and pay at participating McDonald's. McDonald's app download and registration required.
Hi, this is Bryan Main inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
What do you call a truly great beer that's brewed with more taste? Only 96 calories and 3.2 carbs? We call it Miller Lite. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true. Great beer, great responsibility. 2018 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis 12 fluid ounces, less than 1 gram protein and 0 grams fat.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Prepare your vehicle for the weather ahead during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Purchase a Superstart battery and get up to a $25 gift card after mail-in rebate, plus great deals on jumper cables, battery chargers, and more. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm who put his problems to rest.
They got the job done, and life is good.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-960-1575. 800-960-1575.
Optima Tax Relief.
For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know that most dog owners spend more on their pet's dental health than on their own? Or that there are more Facebook users in Bangkok than any other city on earth? Don't believe me? I'm Carlos Watson, the founder of Ozzy, a news site that breaks you out of the daily headlines and vaults you ahead. Meet the next Albert Einstein. Discover a human spaceship. Ozzy's fresh stories and bold ideas will blow your mind and show you where the world is truly headed. Come check us out at Ozzy.com. Ozzy, live curiously.
All right, right back here with your garden buddies, Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. It is 35 minutes after the hour, and we're going to continue. I've been talking to Joe, Italian cooking, and today limoncello, Tiger.
Yeah, we're chatting with Joe Borio from Cooking Italian with Joe. And before the break, we were just talking about kind of the origin of limoncello, you know, kind of what you use for it. Now, let's describe the process behind it.
I think Joe was talking, I'm trying to think, you know, because he was talking about using large lemons, and I think those are the Genoa lemons. Mm-hmm. Because, Brian, you probably remember when we went to France.
The size of grapefruits.
We went to Mentone, which is right over the border from Italy.
Yep.
We found that the Mentone lemon, which only grows there, is actually came from the Genoa lemon. And those were huge, so I think that might be the ones that they use over there.
And, you know, what Joe was describing, or what we're going to kind of, with this process, is you don't really use the lemon. You pretty much just use the peel, right, Joe?
No, you use the lemons too, but it depends how.
Yeah, so you're going to, you know, the key, and I touched on in the video, but, you know, when you're sitting there with Nona, you know, and your uncle, and you're peeling that, they're key, and they're sitting there with their feet up and just taking all the time in the world, but they're just trying to get just like a hair's thickness of the peel off the lemon, because you don't want to grab any of the white, because it starts to it brings a little bitterness to the limoncello that you don't want. So
and so you take the peels and then you put it into a alcohol.
Correct.
And this is where the limoncello process starts, right? Is that you're using an alcohol, an existing alcohol. In your video you describe Everclear, which is right around 190 proof alcohol or so.
Right.
And so you're not, the distilling is already done. You're just now kind of, what would it be? Enhancing the flavor of it. Changing the flavor, right?
Correct. What you're doing, you guys probably all heard of obviously like an essential oil. So what you're doing is it's an emulsification. You're actually using alcohol as like the solvent to strip away any of those delicious, delicate oils that you get from the skin. And it's certainly not unique to lemons. You can do this with what are called nocha, which are like nuts. You could do it with oranges. You could do it with strawberries, melon. So they'll make that liqueur from a lot of different flavors. But in this case, with the limoncello, you're using that lemon peel, and you're extracting it. In fact, you guys probably heard of ouzo, which is known in Greece, but ouzo is actually the word for the effect of the emulsification, pulling that oil out of the skin, which is what you guys are doing right now. So
okay, so and then I mentioned to you off air that in California, this is new to me, that I learned that we can't get certain grades of alcohol. So, we can only buy, 120 proof alcohol.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Where, back there where you're at, Joe, you can probably buy the 190 proof alcohol.
Yeah.
Does that make a difference when you're making your limoncello?
It can. It's going to give you the effect afterwards. We in New York apparently like it a little stronger, but so it's okay. But in Italy, they'll make it with anything. I don't know if you guys are familiar with grappa. John probably is, or Giovanni. I'm sorry, it should be Giovanni on the show.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with grappa, because the first time I tried it, I drank it the way you were supposed to drink it, and then it didn't hit me that hard, but then I went to stand up and I couldn't.
My legs stopped working.
Drinking correctly. There's no doubt. That was a cure-all in the Borio house. So it was grappa. You dump it on your hands if you were sick. It's like rubbing it on your face, on your chest. Add sugar and lemon. Oh my God. So they'll use in Italy, in a lot of the old parts of Italy, they'll use grappa. They'll use vodka. And then the problem you had years ago is, when you go back about 150 years ago, or before, where limoncello basically came from, alcohol was all different variants. So they didn't really have what we would consider like a store-bought vodka or store-bought grappa. So they tended to be higher in alcohol back then than they are today. But a lot of times, if you can't get the pure grain, you can certainly use vodka, which is common, or you can get a good grade grappa, which would work great. So,
as I remember from your video, though, you were commenting that you're not going to get the true flavor as you would using the Everclear, because you are going to get, if you're using vodka or gin or something like that, you're going to get a little flavoring from those alcohols.
Right, like John, like you were talking about grappa. Like grappa's got a flavor. It's almost what they call peasant whiskey, from Italy, because it's made from the stems and skins of making wine. So there's always that extra flavor. Where what I like, and where you see some of the masters there, they'll use a higher grain alcohol, and then it removes, it's triple distilled, so it removes all those other flavors, so it gives you much more punch with the lemon without any backdrop of any other flavors. So.
Hey, Joe, let me quickly step in here and ask you the difference. When John and I were in Italy a couple of 2 or 3 years ago, when I first discovered limoncello, besides that, they had pistachio and they had orange, which was just fantastic. So what's the difference in terms of that compared to the limoncello, the basic limoncello we're discussing?
Nothing really. It's just you're going to take that jug, which we were talking about. You're going to peel, in this case, the lemon skins, right? You're going to throw them in the alcohol. And you could do it for, a week or 2 weeks. I mean, it doesn't have to be a month if somebody's in a big rush.
Mm-hmm.
But, a true Italian's going to have that lemon distilling in the back corner all year long anyway. but in any case, case, yeah, you could just throw some nuts. Literally, just throw some nuts and some alcohol, and you're going to get that emulsification. The alcohol strip it. With oranges, you're going to use the orange peel. Same thing with strawberries. You're just going to throw some strawberries in there, but you're still going to get the same effect. You're going to get a delicious, gorgeous flavor liqueur that you throw in the freezer, and it's just there's no better way to finish a dinner in Italy on a hot summer night, regardless of where you are, with a nice drink of, whatever that digestivo, as we call it.
Yeah, amen to that. Fantastic. And I can certainly see how that would be nice poured over ice cream, either way, whichever way you go, especially with the creamy limoncello.
So
yeah, my grandmother, my Nona, she used to use it on cake. So when she would make like a layered cake, or she was going to flavor like a frosting in a cake, you take that limoncello or the orangello, and you would actually drizzle a little bit in the cake, or on the cake, or in the frosting, which is just delicious.
So basically, now with the limoncello, you've got your grain alcohol, you've got your lemon rinds, you've let it set for a month. You go then and you strain it, and you have your general limoncello. That's just that's your basic limoncello that you store and you keep. Now, to make it the creamy, now we're going to be adding heavy whipping cream. Now, in your video, give us a ratio, because it's a lot of heavy whipping cream to your volume of limoncello. I'm almost look at it, and it's almost like
half and half.
For every 1 part of limoncello, you're adding 1 part of heavy whipping cream.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
In Italy, you can't add enough cream, you can't add enough butter, and you can't add enough olive oil. I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So
it's typically 1 to 1. You're going to have about 4.5 cups of heavy cream to what you have left over in your limoncello. Correct.
And then in there as well, you put some honey and you put some vanilla bean, right?
Correct. Yeah, we make, again, I did a version of limoncello. You can make it with simple syrup, which is going to be 2 cups of heavy sugar and 2 cups of water, and then you would kind of make a simple syrup out of that instead of honey. Or my grandmother used to make it with honey, and that was kind of, again, we take it for advantage that, and granted that you go to the store and you just buy sugar. Well, way back then, they didn't have, sugar cane in the backyard, but they had bees, so they would use honey as a sweetener as opposed to sugar. So a lot of the older, 150, 200 years ago, a lot of the old Italians would use honey as their sweetener rather than sugar. So that's why some of those old recipes would actually use honey. So in the one I presented on the video, we did honey, and then, you're going to dump in that cream, give it a shake. You ideally let it set for a week, but you don't have to, obviously, and put it in the freezer. She'll last up to 6 months. I would ask anyone that asks me how long it lasts means you're not drinking it right. So if you're worried that it lasts 6 months, you're not drinking limoncello right. You should only have to have it around the house for about a week before it's gone. So.
Well, but it's funny because when you're watching, Joe jokes it shouldn't last very long. I feel like he was making like a 5-gallon jug of it at the time too. So
it looked like 2 bottles to me.
So definitely it's a good probably social drink, and you can use it in other ways. Like you're saying, as far as like a frosting or anything like that.
But great gift idea too. I think that I've had people give me bottles of limoncello as a gift.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a phenomenal gift idea. In fact, if the bottle that you guys are using that we used in the video, you can buy those small ones. It makes such a great gift, and you give a nice little card. It's unique. It's fun. You show somebody you love them. It's just a wonderful way. And in Italy, and you guys know this yourselves, so much of eating and food is not only the social structure of sitting down and having a meal with your friends and loved ones, but also having that.
Hey, Joe, got to cut in. Joe, hang on to that thought. We got to take a break. We're going to come right back.
No sweat.
Okay, but thank you. With Joe, going to come back. More limoncello. This is Garden America on your Saturday weekend. Hi, this is Bryan Main inviting you to join me along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Ryan Seacrest here with your Feed the Fans Friday update for the weekend. Movie's opening today, the action thriller Black and Blue starring Naomi Harris and Tyrese. And if you're in the mood for some early Halloween scares, there's the horror flick Countdown. And on SNL tomorrow night, Chance the Rapper is both the host and musical guest. Don't forget to tune in to this year's World Series because the first player to steal a base steals Taco Bell tacos for all of America. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. Visit TacoBell.com/steal-a-taco for details.
Hey, Lauren, how's back-to-school shopping going?
Oh, you know, the usual. Clothes, books. How about you?
Well, this year, I decided to treat myself to an amazing iPhone 7.
Really?
Yes. This year is not only about the kids. I got the iPhone 7 for only $49.99 when I switched to Metro.
Ooh, show me.
Yeah, here, check it out. Retina HD display and a fantastic camera that can capture 4K video for the kids' first day back to school.
Well, I know what I'm going to be doing today.
Oh, yeah? What?
Treating myself to the iPhone 7 at Metro.
Get it, girl.
Switch to Metro now and treat yourself to the incredible iPhone 7. Just $49.99. Only at Metro. Requires port and of eligible number not currently active on T-Mobile network or active on Metro in past 90 days. And validation of name, address, and DOB in independent database with matching ID. Limit 2 per account household. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Is your business still advertising in magazines, newspapers, and mailers? Stop throwing away your money and advertise where it matters, in the back of rideshare cars that everyone uses. Surf puts entertainment tablets in those cars so the next time a passenger gets in, the first thing they see is your business while also jamming out to their favorite artists, songs, or podcast, all from iHeartRadio. Get started today at ridewithsurf.com/radio. That's ridewithsurf.com/radio to promote your business in rideshare cars everywhere.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is Bryan Main inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com. Okay, well, here we are. It is a limoncello day, Saturday here on Garden America. Tiger Palafox, Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, our guest. Yes, indeed, it's the real deal, Tiger.
Yeah, we're talking with Joe Borio.
Yeah, Joe Borio.
Cooking Italian with Joe.
Hey, we have a listener, Joe, that wants to know how many lemons were in the recipe. 10 lemons, okay. But we should also let people know that if you get our newsletter, there is a link to the video on both Joe's website, which is, I think, cookingwithjoe.com, and on GardenTube. We posted the video on GardenTube.
Yeah, so go to GardenTube. It's also there as well. Not YouTube, but GardenTube.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, you can see both of them there. And I'll tell you that I don't know if I haven't looked at many of your videos, Joe, but you are so thorough, and seeing you actually perform the steps to the recipe make it so easy to do. It makes you just want to go out and try it.
Yeah, we try to make it easy. I think the mistake we made in this segment is we all should have been having the limoncello before the segment. Maybe about 4 or 5 shots.
Well, you know, Tiger and Bryan are actually drinking it right now.
Yeah.
I got to be careful. That
I
first.
saw Bryan take a cup. He was like, boom. He didn't even take a sip. He just took a shot, baby.
I've done this once or twice, Joe.
Hey, you know, before I let Tiger get back on subject here, I wanted to mention that the last time we were in Italy, my family's from northern Italy, so cooking's a little bit different. But I had never tasted the. I'm trying to think of what they're called. Was it arancini? Risotto balls, right? Mm-hmm. And I was just wondering if you had a recipe for those, because I'll tell you, those were the most fantastic things I've had when I was up there.
Yeah, we have I think we did that a couple of years ago, which is great, because what you'll do is in the northern Italy they'll tend to use riso or rice, and in southern Italy they tend to use pasta, and up north you'll have that leftover your leftover risotto. So in those cases you ball it up. What's nice is you can stuff those with a little cheese, maybe a little pancetta, some prosciutto, and then you wrap it up in some breadcrumbs and you fry it. Boy, those are awesome. Absolutely delicious.
Yeah, people who aren't familiar with Italian cooking, there really is no such thing as Italian cooking. You have to call it regional Italian cooking, because each region's like cooking in a different country almost.
Yes, and the challenge you have a lot of times, you do a show and you put something out there, and you'll have somebody that maybe is not really familiar with that, so they think, well, that's not how my grandmother made it, But the reality is, not only is it regional, it's also seasonal. So, depending on what you had available in that area, the recipe can change dramatically just based upon the season, what you can make it with.
So we finished up our limoncello here in studio, Joe. And so, Bryan and I have a cup. This creamy limoncello, is I find it to be sweeter, a little smoother than the standard limoncello.
I think it's better all the way around.
So and so, like you say, they use this variety of limoncello, the creamy one, more as a dessert. You can also use it as kind of a frosting or a drizzling on an ice cream. But it also makes a good kind of summertime drink as well.
Yeah.
Sure. You're out there sipping it. Just because it's creamy, it's not like drinking milk on a hot day.
No, not at all.
It's very refreshing. Aside from limoncello, we saw other drink recipes on your website, and as John has just talked about, other recipes and stuff. Your website is cookingitalianwithjoe.com, or what's the...
Yeah. The YouTube channel or the website is saying Cooking Italian with Joe, .com, and all the recipes that we've done. The printable recipes are out there. Sometimes we're a month or two behind on getting anything that we recently recorded out there, but yeah, you can just find us right out there. And then I have an olive grove. I'm right up. My home is right up north of the heel, so East Coast, or what they call Puglia or Apulia, and then we have about 25 acres now. So we have several thousand olive trees, so we make olive oil, and then we ship part of it here to the United States, and then we sell some of it wholesale in Italy. So and I have two boys. My one son's name is Joey, and my other son's name is Vito. So we call the olive oil. I named the company after them, Vito and Joe's Olive Oil. So
What a surprise that you're Italian and those are your son's names.
Yeah. Hey, well, my brother name. Here's a shocker. My brother's name's Tony. If you go to a family outing and you say Joe or Tony, literally every guy in the room stands up. So it's just like,
You mean Joe? There's no Paulie?
yeah, there's no Paulie, not in our family, no Paulie.
Next time we're in Italy, I think we're going to visit you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen, next time you guys go, seriously, give me a shout or throw me a text or a message, and I got quite a few friends throughout the country, so I can certainly as you guys know, boy, if you know somebody, they can show you those little spots, that restaurant down the end of the street, or they invite you over to their house for dinner, and you just have that authentic regional seasonal meal that just blows you away. And not only that, you make a friend for the rest of your life. It's just fantastic.
Absolutely.
So, hey, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend, good rest of the day, and
a great segment,
enjoy yourself.
Joe. Yeah,
thank you very much, Joe.
Molto grazie. Buon pomeriggio. Ciao.
Have a good Saturday. Take care.
Take care,
guys,
Joe.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You betcha. That's a lot of fun. Now, if I was sitting at home right now, I would finish this cup of limoncello and probably a good portion of that bottle that Tiger brought in. But I got to be careful. It is good. That creamy is just, I don't think you can compare it to the other.
I've only taken a few drinks, but I think this room got hotter.
I got really hot. I thought it was just me. I think I'm going to turn the overhead lights off here for the second hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Just that one sip, I'm warm.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking because somebody has to be able to turn off the lights and lock the doors.
Somebody has to be responsible is what John is saying.
That's right. Hey, I had something.
Make it quick because we're going to have a top-of-the-hour break, but go ahead.
You know what? Maybe we should. How much time do we have?
Actually, about 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, then what we're going to do is ask people to wait till the second hour.
Okay.
Because I found a deal in the most unlikely place, Bed Bath & Beyond, that was a gardening deal.
A gardening deal.
Yeah, I'm going to tell people about it.
John is adding
it's a clearance sale, so you got to act right away.
It's gardening and lifestyle today.
That's right.
With John Bagnasco. Okay, the clock is ticking up toward the top of the hour. If you're tuned in listening to the replay on Biz Talk Radio, we've got news coming up on many of these Biz Talk Radio affiliates. And, of course, Facebook Live continue with your questions and comments. In fact, the entire second hour dedicated to conversation, your questions, your comments right there on Facebook Live. And, of course, John at GardenAmerica.com. Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. Hour 2 coming up. Stay with us, and thank you so much for tuning in to Garden America.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is Bryan Main inviting you to join me along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Taco Bell's nacho fries are the taste sensation sweeping the nation.
Melt of your cheese brought me to my knees. You got me begging, baby, please don't leave.
And now you can experience the Mexican spices and warm nacho cheese sauce live from your house with Taco Bell delivery. Go to TacoBell.com and get nacho fries delivered today. Available at participating locations for a limited time only. Delivery service and small order fees will apply.
Attention, the following may contain spontaneous reactions to something surprisingly delicious, also known as the vocal phenomenon, boo.
McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich.
Woo!
Tender, juicy, all white meat chicken. Woo! Covered in a smoky.
Woo!
Mouth-watering. Woo! Barbecue sauce. So delicious, one bite will make you go. Admit it, you just wooed a little bit. McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Flavor that makes you go, woo! At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
It's Mattress Firm's Save Big Sale. Save up to $400. Plus, get 0% APR for 6 years, 0 down, and 0 due at signing. It's as easy as sign, save, sleep. And get a free adjustable base with any purchase of $6.99. Don't wait. Your budget stretches further at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 1-866-780-6220 for credit costs and terms. For new accounts, purchase APR is 29.99%. Subject to credit approval. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
And welcome to hour number 2. Those of you on Facebook Live and Biz Talk Radio, we are back. It is Garden America. If you joined us during hour number 1, you heard Cooking Joe?
Cooking Italian with Joe.
Cooking Italian with Joe. We talked about making limoncello.
Chef Joe Borio.
Yes, and if you're watching on Facebook, you can see what Tiger did. Now, Tiger, you did this recipe several weeks ago. We've got the creamy limoncello. We've got the regular limoncello.
Yep.
How difficult was it for you to make, other than the time that it takes in terms of letting things set for a while?
Not difficult at all. And, you really can't go wrong. Meaning, you can maybe make it not as sweet as you wanted it to be, but then you can always just add more honey or sugar,
Would you say the most difficult part was probably peeling the lemons?
Yes, that was the most difficult part, because then it's just a matter of putting lemon peels into pouring a thing of alcohol.
Yeah.
You can't really mess that up. So, like you say, it wasn't hard, It's just time consuming. As you mentioned, this isn't something like you can say, oh, it'd be nice to have limoncello this weekend. I'll go get some and we'll make it up. It's not going to happen. The process takes, I would say, Joe said you can kind of rush things, but I would say at minimum you're looking at a month to do it well.
He was also saying that in Italy, they've got it going 52 weeks a year, so they're not even planning ahead. It's just always
it's always happening.
As soon as that jug empties, they throw it back together, and then it just sits there again,
Hey, got a couple of questions. Talking about that trip that we're planning next year, 2020, to Europe, and I always like to have John discuss the trip and where we're going and what we're going to be doing. It's the very end of May, like the last day or so, right on through the first couple of weeks of June. And the countries we're going to, John, and the things we'll be doing are what?
We're not doing Italy.
Not doing Italy. We talked a lot about Italy the first hour.
Yeah, so you'll learn new recipes, I guess.
Sure.
And I'll tell you the one recipe you might want is for the something crema.
The cake?
The cake,
the
yeah.
Cake in was it Bled?
In Lake Bled.
Lake Bled, creme cake?
Yeah, which is like a national dessert, and people come from all over the country just to have that cake there in Lake Bled.
And where is Lake Bled, by the way?
Lake Bled's in Slovenia, not too far out of Ljubljana, which is the capital.
Now that's where we land the first day?
We're going to land in Ljubljana, then we're going to drive out to Lake Bled, and that's where the tour actually starts. We'll have dinner in Lake Bled that night. And Lake Bled is we keep describing it as a fairy tale location.
Yeah.
Because you'll see a castle up on the hill, you'll see a lake with an island and a 14th century monastery in the center of it. It's just really nice, and we'll be there for the International Wildflower Festival. So I'm looking forward to that. I think we mentioned a few weeks ago that in the Julian Alps, where the wildflowers are, that there's over 80 species of orchids.
Wow.
Actually. And there's a few species of wild roses. You'll see hellebores. Cyclamen. And the cyclamen we were talking about, Tiger, are fragrant, which is kind of cool. And they're little. They're not like the giant cyclamen that we give as gift plants here. They're small, but you would think those small flowers aren't going to be that fragrant, and they really are.
Well, I remember the first time I ever found out cyclamen had fragrance blew my mind, because that's something you're not accustomed to here. You know, they breed them for those bright, big flowers.
It's almost like florist roses.
Yes.
You know, they're big, huge flowers, but no scent. But yet, some of these smaller roses and species roses are extremely fragrant.
Yeah, and that's something that I just wasn't accustomed to, seeing a cyclamen with fragrance. And yeah, I would like to have that every once in a while into a flower bed, and especially that time of year, because cyclamen bloom for us in the fall and winter. And for a lot of places, there's not a big fragrant flower market at that time of year.
Right.
Maybe some camellias, but for the most part, you have no flowers or fragrance during the winter time. So to have a plant that has that is awesome.
So then, John, from there, Lake Bled, Slovenia, Julian Alps.
When we leave Slovenia, we go to Austria.
Austria. Oh, boy.
Where I've never been. I'm looking forward to that. I think we're going to be, or I can't remember. I think we're in Salzburg, right?
Yep.
By the way, if you go to earthboundexpeditions.com.
The entire itinerary is right there.
Right. Day-by-day itinerary, all the hotels,
hotel list,
the cost and everything of the tour. But we go to, I believe it's Salzburg, and we're going to be doing some music. There's beer and wine tastings, all kinds of stuff. The Royal Lippenzahner Stud Farm, where you should probably watch that movie ahead of time. The Miracle of the White Stallions.
Yeah, prepare yourself.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. You're kind of
I don't know. Stud farms make me uncomfortable.
But you like horses.
Love horses.
You need to watch that movie.
Remember that movie back in the 70s? They Shoot Horses, don't they? You recall that movie?
Jane Fonda.
Yeah, there you got a boy. Look at that memory. Nicely done.
And then, let's see, from there we go to the Czech Republic and visit Prague. And
Beautiful city.
And we'll be seeing a lot of castles and gardens and things like that. It'll be a lot of fun.
So how do people, again, earthboundexpeditions.com, the itinerary is there. And by the way, aside from your plane ticket, it's all inclusive. Everything is the price you pay. You get your tips, you get your meals, most meals, and all the expeditions and everything we're doing.
Yeah, we've talked about this before too, but I've had several people tell me who went to similar places that we had gone on some of our tours, and when we were sharing stories, I was telling them things. They said, we saw the same thing. We had no idea that's what we were looking at.
Exactly, right.
And it's because, we have the tour guides, the local tour guides from each area that can give you some of the information that our first guest was talking us about.
Joe,
talking to us about, that the locals know what's going on. Actually, Tiger met a local in that lives in Prague. Or her sister lives
that's
in
right.
Prague.
Yeah.
And maybe we might be able to get some information from them.
Yeah.
And Prague is supposed to be just magnificently beautiful, from what they say.
It's supposed to be. So go to Garden America, you could go to Garden America.
You could go to
I think we have a
gardenamerica.com.
link there, but it might be easier for you to find the link on earthboundexpeditions.com, or if you get our newsletter and sign up for our newsletter, which is at Garden.
How do they get the newsletter, John, for those that are
if you
maybe
go to
joining us for the first time?
gardenamerica.com, you can just, on the homepage right at the bottom, it says sign up for newsletter.
Okay.
But every newsletter I've been putting a link to the tour information.
And there's also a link, too, to our podcast on that newsletter, too. If you don't watch our podcast on Facebook, want to go just listen to it via the iHeartMedia radio app, the iHeart radio app, that is, you can go right there. All the podcasts are archived and for your listening pleasure, as they say.
Lenore on Facebook mentions that Salzburg is where Mozart was born, and I think that might be part of the tour as a little Mozart music festival.
Yep. Fun stuff.
This moment of silence is sponsored.
So it's
by Mozart.
I was wondering if you were going to. We were talking about movies to watch before you go. I wonder if you should watch Amadeus.
Well, what came to mind when you said that, when talking about Mozart, was this has nothing to do with Mozart, but when we were in France and went to see Van Gogh, where he stayed for a year or so at that place to get your act together.
At the sanitarium.
The sanitarium. There you go. Yeah, and that was fantastic. His room exactly the way it was before he died.
What I thought was kind of interesting is if you think of some of his paintings with his expressionist and impressionist art, there was a painting I kind of recalled with poppies.
Yes.
And if you went in back of the sanitarium,
it's all poppies.
There was a little poppy garden with just
red poppies.
And it looked just like one of his paintings.
Yeah, and I have it on my phone, that picture.
Really?
Several pictures still,
Yeah, that really impressed me.
It was very nice.
And as a matter of fact, he had he did a painting of roses, and somebody was asking me which rose that was.
Oh, my gosh.
Because they were trying to identify that rose. And in the picture...
Is there enough to identify a species, though?
The rose in the picture... Well, you could figure that it was probably roses that were growing that time.
Right, sure.
Either in that area or that time in history. But the roses were white, and there were no white roses that had the resemblance to what he painted. And it turns out that he actually painted in a pinkish red color that faded
over the years.
So I think that the rose that was in the painting was the same one that we saw when we went up the front walk of the sanitarium.
Yeah, absolutely. Just interesting. So again, if we do the Mozart thing, just something else to think about. This is a great bucket list. Check it off your bucket list trip.
Yeah, and we'll. All the people that have signed up so far, we personally vetted.
Exactly.
And they're really nice people. You'll have fun. And because
we all have something in common.
It's like you're traveling with your family,
exactly.
Really. Yeah. And there's always the uncle that comes along that you wish had stayed home.
You mean the drunk uncle that wasn't invited to the party? Hey, that said, we've got break time coming up. It is 60 minutes after the hour.
Oh, I've got that tip when we come back,
okay,
too.
John's tip. And if you have any questions or comments, again, we urge you right there, Facebook Live. Maybe John at gardenamerica.com, but, of course, Facebook Live, you'll get your question answered more immediate. I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, your garden buddies on this Saturday. We've got more coming up. Stay with us. This is Garden America. Hi, this is Bryan Main inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Taco Bell's nacho fries are the taste sensation sweeping the nation.
Melt of your cheese brought me to my knees. You got me begging, baby, please don't leave.
And now you can experience the Mexican spices and warm nacho cheese sauce live from your house with Taco Bell delivery. Go to TacoBell.com and get nacho fries delivered today. Available at participating locations for a limited time only. Delivery service and small order fees will apply.
Attention, the following may contain spontaneous reactions to something surprisingly delicious, also known as the vocal phenomenon, woo.
McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich.
Woo!
Tender, juicy, all white meat chicken. Woo! Covered in a smoky.
Woo!
Mouth-watering. Woo! Barbecue sauce. So delicious, one bite will make you go. Admit it, you just wooed a little bit. McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Flavor that makes you go, woo! At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
If you owe the IRS, they want their money and will do whatever it takes to get it. But the truth is, they would rather settle for less than bother you more. That's why they're offering the Fresh Start program to help you solve your tax problem for good. You may qualify for tax relief that saves you thousands. Nobody knows this program better than Optima Tax Relief. They will fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-960-1575. 800-960-1575.
Optima Tax Relief.
For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Right back here on Garden America, Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, your garden buddies. John, you in the middle of something before we had to take a break?
Well, you know, I'm
garden tip.
Yeah, garden tip.
I'm still trying to learn our new schedule and how it works. So, if you're hearing us now, you're either on Facebook
live,
or you're listening to the radio a week from today.
Yeah, if you're Biz Talk Radio, you're hearing last week's show.
Right.
Live
so
Facebook.
If you're on Facebook, you're definitely going to have an advantage because there was a limited amount of what I'm going to tell you about. And a few weeks ago, our good friend Susan from Vista came over to my house with a bunch of people from the California Coastal Rose Society to get roses ready for the auction that's coming up.
November 16th, I believe?
Yes, it is,
Okay.
Brian.
So I do my homework.
You're going to be there, right?
Ooh. Is that on the 16th?
And Tiger, too, I hope.
Ooh. Tiger will be there for the first 5 roses auctioned off, then he's got to go to a softball game.
So anyway, when they came over, one of the things we had to do was to inventory all the roses. And I had one of those kneeler benches, those gardening kneeler benches.
We used to sell those. Do we still sell them?
No.
Okay.
No.
At one time we did.
But at one time we did. And the one that I had was kind of old, and I knew how to use it, but apparently Susan didn't. And so she knelt on it and almost ended up rolling down the hill.
Ooh.
And
yikes!
And warned me, you really need to replace that bench. So last week I was looking online because I happened to be on Facebook, and one of those benches came up on Facebook from some gardening company, and just as a general rule of thumb, I don't order things off Facebook unless I check them out somewhere else.
Right.
So I was checking out the garden kneeler bench, and different ones came up on different websites, and the one that was exactly the same type that I had was at Bed Bath & Beyond. And so I clicked on it, and apparently it's not a big item there, and they were clearing them out. And I think the regular price of that bench is around $30, like $29.99. Bed Bath & Beyond, they were $7.
$7?
Wow.
And free shipping.
Really?
Yeah, so I got 2 for half the price of what one would have been.
And what's the name? What do you call them?
Well, if you Google kneeler bench,
right,
or garden kneeler bench,
okay.
But kneeler benches, there's a lot of different types. But I got them, like 3 days after I ordered them, and they're exactly what I had, and for $7.
And after you plant something, it allows you, since you're kneeling, you can pray at the same time that you're going to be successful.
Well, when you get to be
prayer with your plant,
when you get to be my age, Brian,
you look good for 81. Seriously, I mean, come on, folks, 81. How does he do it?
I would look good for 81. I hope I make it to 81 someday. The kneeler bench is got like a kneeling pad for you to kneel on while you're weeding or doing something on the ground, but then it's got turned upside down like that. It's got the 2 legs on the side that you can use to push yourself up.
Sure.
And if you just want to sit there, you turn the whole bench over and it's a bench.
You can do anything you want.
Whatever you want, Brian.
Just keep flipping it over, something
There's
new.
no limit to what you can do, and there's no restrictions. But I just thought that was a great deal for $7.
$7.
But obviously they didn't sell at Bed Bath & Beyond, and my guess would be, who thinks of going
It's
to bed
not a place that you would go to buy something like
for
that.
gardening.
Yeah.
Well, but it's not even that. They could have sold a lot of them, but then, a lot of those box stores, sometimes you walk in there and they're clearing stuff out at the end of the season because they just don't want to store it or continue it on.
So what? If they sell it in spring next year, that's the case. It was at the end of the year, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a national chain, like Tiger's saying, sometimes, nobody. Our first guest was in Syracuse, New York. Nobody's going to be buying a garden bench this time of year.
No.
So maybe that's why they were doing it.
Just
but even at $7, that's going to be what cost.
Sometimes they go below.
Sometimes
cost, they go below
and
cost.
they can write that off and they lose money.
Yeah.
Well, they're in a nice little full color box.
Yeah.
You could buy those for your nursery since
And
they're
start selling them for $30.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I don't care how old you are. It's still exciting to have something delivered to your door and get it. We do a lot of stuff on Amazon, from the simplest to, maybe clothes, stuff like that. But when you see that package there.
Yeah. Well, if I was Tiger, I would buy them. I would mark them $29.99, and I would put them on sale for $19.99.
No, I would do that and allow the customer to dicker back and forth with you.
Hey,
he's close to Mexico, but not that close.
Brian, you just said something, and it made me think of one of our new sponsors for the upcoming year is a company called Plants by Post, and they do mail order plants.
Sure.
And you talk about how it's exciting, and the cool thing about them compared to a lot of the other mail order plants out there is that these are truly like finished plants with
Yeah.
flowers on them and all of that. So it's almost like getting like a florist bouquet, delivered to your house. And they ship them really well in like boxes that are going to keep them all secure and all that. So, yeah, that's going to, it is fun to kind of
get
this box, you open it up, you have, fun things in there.
Now, John, do you have Alexa at home at all?
Do you know what Alexa is,
No,
John?
I've got a Toyota.
No, okay.
But
Well,
not Alexa.
So with Alexa, you tie it into Amazon Prime. So if you've ordered something, all you do is say, Alexa, where's my stuff? Your stuff will be arriving today at 4:30.
Really?
It tells you right exactly, because we ordered a scratching post for our
I was
cats.
in my son's house last night, and he had just hooked up Alexa, and he said, Alexa, play...
any song, and she's going to play it.
I'm trying to think, who are the new kind of folky group?
There's actually folk music, modern folk music, folky.
Yeah, more kind of like Irish.
Oh, the Irish Rovers. Remember that?
No, not the Irish Rovers.
Timey Kangaroo down, sport.
Well, anyway, he asked to play them. She started playing them, and I said, does Alexa do Jeopardy? And then all of a sudden, the Jeopardy questions started coming on.
Yeah, she'll tell you stories.
Yeah, well, it's hard to play Jeopardy because you have to have somebody reading the questions. You have to get the answers, and Alexa does that for you.
Everybody does well watching Jeopardy, but when you're
and you know what she does is
tougher.
She pulls questions from the last Jeopardy show.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's really cool. I haven't watched Jeopardy for a while. I heard Alex Trebek's not doing.
Yeah, he was in remission, and now it's
back
again. So I remember way back in the old days when. Back in the 60s and 70s when Don Pardo was the announcer, who later went on to become the announcer for the original SNL. It's Saturday Night Live! And he was the old Jeopardy announcer. Goes way back. Before Alex Trebek. I forget the host at that time. But this is just meaningless trivia on a garden show.
I remember when Alan Ludden was the host of Password.
Married to Betty White.
Yep.
Okay, so if you want to talk game shows, if you want to talk Amazon Prime or Alexa, we're here. We're going to take a break coming up here, get back to our gardening conversation. So whatever's on your mind, again, Facebook Live, post your questions right there. Also, John at GardenAmerica.com. So that said, as we approach 30 minutes after the hour, we're going to step aside. Garden America with your garden buddies. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. We're going to come right back.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-803-5144. 800-803-5144. 800-803-5144.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Prepare your vehicle for the weather ahead during Super Start Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts with great deals on batteries and accessories. Plus, save on your next oil change with 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life motor oil and a MicroGuard filter, just $33.99. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Halloween, it's alive at Party City. Hurry in. Select costumes are on sale, up to 60% off. And no need to worry, our stores are open late through Halloween. Party City. Oh, it's on. Restrictions apply. Store participation may vary. See store for details.
Merry
Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has some of the hottest deals in San Diego on over 500 available new vehicles. And now through Sunday only, during Ram Power Days, Perry has all new 2019 Ram 1500 SXT Eco Diesel 4x4s for just $29,888. That's over $18,000 off MSRP. Over 80 new Rams available. These are not leftover 2018s and they're not base models. These are all new 2019 Ram Eco Diesel 4x4s with 20-inch chrome wheels, anti-spin differential, U-Connect, and much more. All for just $29,888. Over $18,000 off. Now through Sunday only at Perry Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the Mile of Cars in National City and PerryChrysler.com.
Perry's got it all.
48,020 MSRP 41,138 Perry price minus 10,250 factory rebates and $1,000 Chrysler Capital rebate 5 at this net cost plus license doc and acquisition with approved credit through Chrysler Capital ends October 27th.
When you're celebrating someone's birthday, you want to make them feel special and you want to have fun doing it. That's why to celebrate the Mountain Dew Baja Blast's 15th birthday, Taco Bell is doing something completely new and completely delicious. They're putting candy confetti inside the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Freeze. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Literally, each sip is filled with candy confetti and the Baja Blast flavor you love. So be sure to join the celebration by picking up a Mountain Dew Baja Blast birthday freeze at Taco Bell today.
Hi, I'm Monday, the day of the week that everyone loves to hate.
Mondays?
Well, if anyone is going to come down with a case of the Mondays, I hope it's me. Because every Monday, a delicious 6-inch sweet onion chicken teriyaki is just $3.99 at Subway restaurants. The sub of the day is a different 6-inch sub each day for just $3.99. So TGI Monday, right? Subway, make it what you want. At participating restaurants, additional charge for extras plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
Want to win $10,000? Well, buckle up. No, seriously, buckle up, because this is Colorado's Safest Driver Contest, sponsored by State Farm. Drive safely, and you could win a prize of $1,000 or $10,000. Learn more at statefarm.com/safestdriver. No purchase necessary. Open to Colorado residents 18 or older. Contest runs August 19th, 2019 through November 10th, 2019. Subject to rules found at statefarm.com/safestdriver. Void where prohibited.
How do you want to feel today? Choose your mood with new St. Ives Hydrating Face Mist, made with 100% natural extracts. Spritz the vibrant scent of grapefruit for an instant boost of happy. Yes! Calming lavender for a feeling of relaxation. Or sparkling orange for a burst of energy. Zing! Happy vibes, a moment of zen, or a quick pick-me-up. Get hydrated skin in all the feels, anytime, anywhere. New St. Ives Hydrating Face Mist. Turn up the glow.
It is Garden America. We are back after the break at 35 minutes after the hour, whatever's on your mind. Again, Facebook Live, questions, comments, we do appreciate that. John at gardenamerica.com. And I think it was another break where John's always in the middle of a conversation. We have to take a break.
Yep. Yeah, he likes to chat.
He's a good chit-chatter.
He just doesn't chat he just doesn't like to chat about gardening.
Now, how long was that break, by the way? Because I have no recollection of talking about something prior to the break.
Oh, it was 20 minutes.
But it's all right, because before the break we weren't talking about anything that needed to be visited. But I do want to bring up, something right now that's, kind of a hot topic, especially for Southern California, with the fires, the Santa Ana winds.
So this is literally a hot topic.
Yes, exactly. John, when we first started the show, we were talking about the gooseberry that he had given me. Yeah. And, we need to water it daily. It dries out.
Now, this is
quick.
a Cape gooseberry, not the gooseberries that they grow in the northern parts of the country, because they don't grow in Southern California. But a Cape gooseberry grows in Hawaii and
kind of more. It's obviously more tender because it needs a lot of water.
Much like the humidity.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, there hasn't been any humidity.
Yeah, exactly, and that's part of the problem. And what I was going to get at is. People that are in fire areas or, areas that maybe you're concerned about your landscape, you know, water heavily, you know, at night, making sure things get super saturated and wet, because, you know, when there is a windy, dry, hot fire, if plant material has water in it, it does not burn as quickly and doesn't move through areas as quickly as if they had been left in its dry brush, you know. So, you know, a well-maintained yard by itself is a good fire break, you know, to most extent. I mean, there are some trees and shrubs out there that are known to be highly flammable, but a well-maintained yard will act as a good fire break.
And, of course, there's the old ice plant around the property, especially if you live on a canyon or a slope.
Definitely, like having that barrier between, you know, native chaparral or brush to your yard. That's a good barrier, so that way it can't just move across real quick.
Yeah, I think when you know, people that move into areas, you know, far from the city or outside of the city limits or backcountry, you know, before you buy that property, take a look at it. And that's where you really have to plan landscaping in a fire area to really know what possibly could happen and do everything you can in terms of landscaping that property to stave off the fire for as long as possible.
Well, people always used to plant, and I guess they still do to some extent, but you plant a lot of trees around your house for shade.
Yeah.
And it's good for shade, but not good for fires.
No, not at all.
It's you want to keep fuel as much as possible away from the house. You could probably Google this, but because other people probably have it, but I remember Monrovia Nursery had put up on their website landscaping for fire prevention.
Right.
And they had different zones around the house, and trees were kept away from the house.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, there were ice plants planted, you know, closer to the house, and the shrubs and trees gradually got bigger as you got away from the house.
What else besides ice plant? What's a good ground cover for fire protection? Or
well, I mean, you know, it's kind of in the same realm of
same
ice
family?
plant, but you know, there's a lot of succulent ground covers that that have lots of water in them, and you know, are not ice plant. But you know, there's the different varieties of crassula, different varieties of sedum. You know, rosea is still an ice plant. You know, it might not be the red apple ice plant.
Because some people might want something that looks good along with what they're doing as far as a barrier or something to help keep the fire away. But some people, it looks nice.
But, you know, also, you know, like I just said, with a well-maintained landscape, a product like rosemary, you know, that doesn't burn quickly when it's green and well taken care of. Myoporum is another good, you know, ground cover that grows fast, covers a slope, has a pretty pink or white flower on it, and once again, if it's being watered and taken care of, it won't burn either.
I would think lawns would actually help prevent.
No, they do.
Because lawns have to be, I mean, to keep growing, you're watering them so that the soil's moist, the grass itself is moist. You know, I've never been a fan of lawn shaming. You know, if people want lawns, they should be able to enjoy them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you know, they get a bad name because they say, oh, well, you're using lots of water in California and you shouldn't have it. No, you don't need to plant 4 acres of lawn.
Right. But lawns actually use less water than trees.
And they actually do a lot of really good benefits to the yard aside from, you know, a landscape. You know, people say, oh, well, don't do a lawn. Well, yeah, but that DG gravel pit that you have in the backyard is actually doing worse for your yard than the lawn would be doing.
Well, you know, something else that people don't stop and think of, you know, you only think things through so far. So you say, oh, you know, lawns are not environmentally conscious, you know, that, you know, you should just put down rocks, you know, in a dry landscape. But does anybody stop to think, okay, where did the rocks come from? How many trucks and equipment were used to get those rocks from wherever they were? How much of the environment was disturbed to get the rocks?
And then when you're tired of those rocks, where do they go? Into a landfill, because they don't get recycled.
Right, exactly.
You know how many times I've loaded up dumpsters full of landscape rock that the new owner or somebody just changed their mind and they don't want anymore.
Well, you know, a lot of your work is done in areas that are older, right?
Right.
Older established areas. And what was really popular, Brian will remember this, like in the 60s and 70s was volcanic rock.
Yeah, volcanic rock. Everybody had that.
Lava rock, yeah.
And white marble chips. So I was wondering, do you do a lot of redesigns of landscapes where you have to take those things out?
Oh, yeah. All the time. I mean, you know, nobody wants that lava rock in their yard anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, you have to go through
and
and
it was
pull
usually over, instead of a weed fabric, it was usually over visqueen plastic.
Yeah,
so as you're pulling
exactly.
it's all shredding. And
there is one property that we work at in Coronado, and it's a planter, and what they decided to do was put black plastic visqueen over the planter, put holes in the visqueen, and put in calanchos, kalanchoe, the paddle, right, the flapjack, right, in the planter, and then they put the lava rock on top of that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is the worst. Number one, the succulents are dying because there's no those water just stays in here
no drainage
for months because there's no evaporation, no drainage. Number two, you've got this shredding plastic material now happening in your planters, and number three, you've got a rock that you don't want anymore. I mean, it's just so funny.
John is right there. I remember doing a lot of landscaping, several years ago using bark or the white rock. I thought that looked so cool. Put some white rock here, and then
bark I like.
But bark is good.
It depends on the kind of bark. Like shredded bark, I kind of like.
Yeah. You've said you've liked the rubber bark before, and
I never liked the
rubber
bark.
I thought you did. And
no.
I feel
I've seen people use it.
I feel, in my eyes, the rubber bark today, and sorry if I offend anyone out there, is the lava rock that we're talking about. Like, it's going to be one of those products that in years people are going to be like, oh, I really probably shouldn't have done that. Now you got to go pull it all out. Because unlike bark, true bark,
it doesn't deteriorate.
It doesn't go away.
No. But you know what? You're still a young guy. When you get to be old like Bryan and I.
I'm not that old.
If you put down a thick layer of that rubber mulch and you fall, you just bounce right back up.
John's always worried about falling. Two things John worries about: falling and then getting up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the
one thing though is that there are huge tire piles around the country, millions and millions of tires, and what do you do with them? So I kind of could see using the rubber bark. But, there's different places, like on playgrounds.
Yeah, I think it's great for a playground.
Fine for a playground, but I don't think I would want it around my house.
One thing they did outside the studios here is as you guys come in, you see all those little pebbles that they filled in.
Yeah.
And then they're everywhere. It takes about, a half hour, then they're everywhere. Big rocks. And across the street, there's a luxury auto repair shop. And they have all these big rocks, but they're glued in there. They don't move.
Really?
You can walk on them and they just stay in it.
I like the look of river pebbles,
river rock.
Yeah, river rock, something like that. Dry riverbeds, I think look good. I think in your landscape, if you can recreate something that has a natural appearance to it. Mm-hmm. Back in the 50s, there were. And if you go to old gardening books, you'll see chapters on foundation planting. Where everybody had their tract home, and then right in front of the home, in the Midwest, you would put junipers and taxus.
We're going to take a break, John. Again, John is talking.
And then we have a question on Facebook.
Yes, we got a question from Rochelle. We're going to get to that. So break time coming up. We have one more segment to get your questions, your comments in here. John at GardenAmerica.com, Facebook Live on this Saturday. It is, Garden America, your garden buddies, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. I'm Bryan Main. Stay with us as we take a break. Come right back. Hi, this is Bryan Main inviting you to join me along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit GardenAmerica.com or EarthboundExpeditions.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Taco Bell's nacho fries are the taste sensation sweeping the nation.
Melt of your cheese brought me to my knees. You got me begging, baby, please don't leave.
And now you can experience the Mexican spices and warm nacho cheese sauce live from your house with Taco Bell delivery. Go to TacoBell.com and get nacho fries delivered today. Available at participating locations for a limited time only. Delivery service and small order fees will apply.
Hi, welcome to AT&T.
Hi, can you tell us more about rollover data?
Yeah, what do we have to do?
Not a thing. If you're a Mobile Share Value customer, your unused plan data automatically rolls over for 1 month. It's our way of saying thanks.
That's so wonderful.
You know, let's hug.
Oh, that's okay. We don't have to.
I think we do.
Yeah, I think we
nice.
Let's bring it in. Oh.
Oh, wow. And we're hugging. All three of us. Really hugging. Ooh, who smells like bacon?
Introducing AT&T Rollover Data. All Mobile Share Value plans now come with rollover data on the network with the nation's strongest LTE signal. AT&T, mobilizing your world. AT&T reminds you to never text and drive. It can wait.
Available only with AT&T Mobile Share Value plans. Rollover data automatically expires after 1 month or with any plan change. Other restrictions apply. Visit att.com/rollover data for details. Signal strength claim based only on average LTE signal strength for national carriers.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
O'Reilly Auto Parts offers O-Rewards points in-store and online. Earn points on everything from replacement parts to tools and accessories. And for every 150 points collected, you'll get a $5 reward. Earn points any way you shop. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head and just over $30,000. That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. Optima Tax Relief. They're the best in the business.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-567-2261. 800-567-2261.
Optima Tax Relief.
All right, our final segment here on this Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, depending upon where you are here with your garden buddies, Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, and a Facebook question. we have from Rochelle, our good friend.
You have it?
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, John, read it.
Okay.
Please.
Rochelle wants to know if 2 inches of feathered horse poop plus 4 inches of fresh compost, if that would revitalize her raised garden bed.
Can you say poop on the air on Facebook? We just did. Poop.
Do you know what poop? It's poop spelled backwards says?
Poop.
No.
It's exactly right.
Either way you look at it, it's poop. So the question.
That's right.
Yeah, so we had a question for her on feathered. What does that mean? Maybe it's an autocorrect misspell or something.
Or maybe she means of just taking it 2 inches and working it
in. Yeah.
It would definitely revitalize the bed. But if it's fresh,
I was going to say if it's hot, what they call hot compost, you have to wait.
Maybe even 3 months.
Yeah, I was going to say months.
Yeah.
You know, in general, it is not a short time because what will happen is if you put plants and specifically seeds, like if you're doing a vegetable garden, in hot compost and hot soil, it'll kill the root system. It won't let the plants grow very well in there.
Well, compost heats up so much that it actually sterilizes itself.
Yeah.
So that's why it's one of the reasons why it's such a good thing to use. But yeah, I think you're looking at about 3 months.
Yeah. And
now you could put that all off to the side.
She put dried. Did we address that? Dried.
She changed it from feathered to dried.
Dried. Yeah, dried.
Okay.
So
okay.
then it's already been sitting.
In that case, you could use it immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe wait a couple weeks, mix it all together. Wait a couple weeks, water it.
Yeah.
And then plant.
Okay.
Also, with the weather cooling down, it would be better than to use any type of manure. Maybe when it's been close to 100 degrees, it's just too hot. You know what I'm surprised at is with as hot as it's been and as dry as it's been.
And my lips are getting chapped as we speak. Wow.
That I have a lot of roses with mildew. And you would think that would be the exact conditions to not have mildew.
Can I tell you, with this heat, I've had an abundance of roses blooming with this heat.
Really? No mildew, though?
No mildew. Case in point, Pope John Paul. My gosh, just overnight. And great fragrance. So I'm thinking that my roses love the heat, but no mildew.
Well, as long as they get enough water, the roses will take the heat. But it's been so hot by me that even though the water or the plants look fine because there's been enough water in the containers.
What's going on? Yeah.
The petals themselves are shriveling up and drying. I mean, it's just...
Even though there's moisture underground feeding the plant, they're just cooking.
Yeah. I told you guys the story about, I think it was maybe 4 years ago now, that the Garden Writers Association held their symposium in L.A., and one of the places they visited was the Huntington Arboretum, or Huntington Library.
Mm-hmm.
And the rose garden there is truly magnificent. It's worth a trip just to see it. But Tom Caruth, who's the curator out there and used to be the breeder for Weeks Roses, knew they were coming, and they spent months, his entire crew, getting the garden ready to be observed by all these garden writers when they came to see it.
Make it look really nice for them,
yeah,
right?
And the day that we went to tour the Huntington, it was 103 degrees.
Oh, my gosh.
And there was nothing that he could do. I mean, he just apologized as people were coming into the garden. He says, you know, come and look at my potpourri.
Yeah.
Because all the petals were dried and crunchy.
Or you just changed the theme. This is what happens when you have hot weather.
It was so hot that a lot of people from back east never even toured the gardens. They just sat in the bookstore and the restaurants and just to stay cool. I mean, 103 is hot.
Yeah. It's not as hot as 120, but it's hot.
Well, and especially in some place like the Huntington, because it's probably 103 with
location,
with humidity.
Yeah.
You know, and that makes a lot of difference when you're trying to work outside with your plants. In the full sun. If it's hot and humid out there, it's miserable to work with the
It'd be nice
flowers.
to do a Facebook show from up there sometime.
Yeah.
Just play a replay of our Biz Talk radio show. Like Tiger and I, when we did the show from Mission Hills Nursery, we had no problems at all.
Yeah.
If you have decent Wi-Fi.
I'm sure Tom would be happy to have us up there and host us.
Do a couple of hours and just walk around. and take some videos and just make it incorporate as part of the show.
All right. You guys tell me where to go.
When it cools down.
Stop by and pick me up on your way up there.
Should we go in January?
When nothing's in bloom? Of course, there's always going to be something, right?
No. They'll probably cut it all back.
You're thinking when the weather's cool.
Yeah.
Well, they're actually most famous for their cactus and succulent collection.
Right. The Huntington.
Which always looks pretty good. And you've got, in the winter, you've got all the aloes coming into bloom. And then they have different areas. They have a bamboo garden. They've got palm. Their palm collection is phenomenal. So, yeah, the Huntington is great. And they have Gainsborough's Blue Boy, if you go into the
They've
museum.
got the Blue Boy, the picture?
They have the Blue Boy.
Wow. I remember Blue Boy from an old Dragnet episode. John's trying to figure it out. Well, there was this guy on drugs, this kid, and they called him Blue Boy. He called himself Blue Boy for what he was taking.
That was Dragnet?
It was Dragnet, and then they went into this museum, and what a shame that this would happen, and regarding such a great picture, it was the episode's called Blue Boy.
Do you remember Naked City?
Yes, E.G. Marshall.
Is that what it was?
Well, he was one of the stars of the show, I believe. Or maybe he was
something like there.
Or the Defenders.
Hundreds or thousands of stories in the Naked City.
Yeah.
This is just one.
You guys digress so easy.
Well, the thing is, when you're a kid and the word naked is anywhere, you're going to watch.
I think I kind of remember in my mind, I wanted to watch it the first time.
Yeah, Naked City. Really? How about that? Okay, we are slowly winding down, guys. Last-minute business to take care of, things people should be. Don't forget the trip to Europe coming up 2020.
Okay, Patty came up with a good suggestion here, Brian. What about a bus trip to the Huntington?
Not a bad idea. We used to do those, and they were pretty successful.
Yeah, so we do a bus trip to the Huntington, and we do our show there.
Yeah.
And people can be part of the show.
Or we could not do the show, go on a different day.
Yeah.
And just take a bus trip up there.
Or Tiger and I could go home and finish off the limoncello.
Yeah.
Hey, that's going to do it. Thank you so much.
Have the limoncello on the bus.
Oh, boy, and that'll be a heck of a trip, won't it?
Yeah, you're not going to be driving.
Thank you so much for joining us, whether it's the recorded show here, Biz Talk Radio, or Facebook Live. And we hope you'll join us again next week, Tiger and I, after that little sip of limoncello, a little hot in the studio. And hopefully we were able to enunciate after that so you can understand us. Have yourself a great week. Take care. Be safe. We'll do it again next week. And remember to get growing America. This is Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox on Garden America. Take care.